Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and welcome to the Minivan Challenge. That's what I'm calling that. Now, we're doing 3 minivans. We have the Toyota Sienna, we have the Honda Odyssey, and we have the Chrysler Pacifica. And this week, we're going to kick it off, or this video, we're going to kick it off with the Toyota Sienna, because we're getting that first. This is the Platinum all-wheel drive, and this is a hybrid. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, you know I do a lot of truck and SUV stuff, and trucks are pretty easy for me to do. And I'm pretty knowledgeable, but I'm not so knowledgeable on minivans. That's why I brought in my wife. She is going to be doing all these reviews, and I'm just going to interview her because she's going to drive them, she's going to use them with the kids, and frankly, she can do a better job at minivans than I'm going to do, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I could probably do a better job on a truck one, too.
All right, so up first, the first victim is the Toyota Sienna, and I'll kind of put the Monroney sales sticker here. It's 2021. 7-passenger. We have 50,460 with a total price of 54,212. 35 city, 35 combined, 36 highway. That's because it's a hybrid. It's not a plug-in hybrid though. As you drive it, it charges the battery for you, and actually you can manually shift it in a manual mode, and it will help and charge the battery up for you. So yeah. It's nice. No plugs, no plugging in the wall, nothing kind of stuff. So let's start with this review of this one. This one is in a brilliant green. They call it green M/LB41, which really stinks because it's like a nice forest green.
It is. It's a kind of glittery kind of green. So it's not like a plain John Deere tractor. Sorry, John Deere tractor people, but it's not a plain green. It has a little bit of glitter to it. It has a little bit of shine to it.
So what do you think of the overall exterior?
I like it. It's not too bad. I'm not really a person who would buy the green color. I'm more of a red person. So I would probably buy it in a red. But it's nice. It's kind of it has a little bit of a sportier look to it than a big boxy van. It angles down. The front grille is pretty good. The back, it has really nice tail lights, and the designs on the lights are nice too.
Okay, let's talk about this interior. So we'll do the exterior, we'll talk about the interior. We have a pretty big screen there behind you as the driver. We have the big screen on top. Sorry for the flickering, that's just the camera. We have the infotainment screen there. We have some screens here. You were showing me 3 different places for your cell phone.
Yeah, so there's a cell phone charging station here that you just push the button to turn it on.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it is one of those that you have to take off your case, or you may have a charging case. It won't charge mine. I don't have a special case. And then there's this slot. And then there's that slot.
That slot's pretty handy. And then we do have some room down here for bags. I always think of this room down here as far as...
That's my purse holder section.
Purse holder section. The baby bags.
Baby bags, like diaper bags.
Diaper bags. That you carry a lot of diaper bags staying with the kids. Trust me, good spot for that. So diaper bag stuff there.
Long trips. This would be good for like a wicker basket of snacks or a little cooler.
Right. And we have some rubber floor mats in here, which is nice, and rubber floor mats back there. Now we'll play a video on the screen here in a second. Our youngest son spilled a milkshake, and he wants to tell you all about it in the video. Trust me, it's pretty good.
Okay, so we just had our very first incident.
So, I did about the thing. Whoops. I did about the car. Don't take it to any way without a plan. I built a top and milk day.
Yeah.
Down under. And it's very hard. If you get this car, I die for you.
Nuh-uh, because it cleaned up really easily. The floor...
The day will be dead down.
The floor mats are washable and removable, so I was able to use a little bit of water and mop up all the shake, and it didn't stain the car at all. So, good job spilling the shake on the floor, not on the seats.
Yay.
Yay.
Comment hashtag Cody.
Comment hashtag Cody. Wait, you gotta...
Hashtag Mom too.
Okay. Okay.
that time.
Say your hashtag again.
Had that time. Had that mommy. Had that Cody.
Good night.
Okay, so then let's move along. We have lots of charging back there. We have a big storage in here.
Huge storage.
Plenty of USBs. We do have a pull-down entertainment system, but it does work streaming only. There is no DVD players.
In order to do it, there is a remote, and you have to push projection, and then you have a couple options. You can either plug in the USB here. Now, I'm not quite sure. Even though my phone is connected Bluetooth, it will not simulcast, or it won't mirrorcast using the Bluetooth. It has to have this USB. It won't work if it's this USB. It won't work if it's this USB. It has to be this USB.
Okay.
So then I can simulcast from here. I can mirrorcast from my phone. So if you have a Samsung or an Android, you would go into your overall menu, your drop down,
and then
you go over to Smart View.
Okay.
And when you click on Smart View, it'll find it.
And then you can play something there.
And then it'll show what's on your phone. So on Saturday when we took this minivan. Took the minivan, was it Saturday or Sunday? Anyway, the day I went to IKEA.
The IKEA day.
See, now my phone changed a little bit, so I know that this is the same thing the kids are seeing.
Okay.
My sister connected it to her phone, and we were previewing for our Disneyland trip. Hey guys, so I've been having some issues with the rear entertainment system, and my sister is with us. Hi. And we just got the Miracast to work. So right now she is on her phone looking at Disneyland, Cars Land, and the boys can see her screen.
Yeah, right here.
On their big screen on the back. So in order to do that, you have to go to the audio button on the menu, and then you click on rear, and then you need to make sure that it says rear Miracast. And you do that by pushing the rear mode. And then you have to turn the Miracast on your phone. Now, for different companies, Miracast is either a share screen or a smart screen, Smart View, but we'll have to find out what they're called.
Okay.
So that's one way to use that. The other way to use that is to do, there is an HDMI right here.
Okay. So you could hook up like an Xbox or something if you wanted to use it that
and
way.
there is an actual plug-in right next to it.
Okay.
And then there was another one that I wasn't 100% sure.
So you could do an Xbox thing. So moving along, fuel economy. That's a big question. So what's it say on the screen?
31.4 was the total trip fuel economy.
Right. So you didn't do as well as EP estimated.
No, but you have to
Lead
recognize EP estimated is not always taking into consideration Cheyenne, Wyoming strength winds.
Right.
Or going from a altitude level of 4,000 feet to 5,000 feet. So, I mean, I had a lot of altitude changes, a lot of wind. I drove through a couple of rainstorms, and so I kicked over to power a lot more than I thought I would be. I thought I would be in the eco mode a lot more, and I wasn't.
Yeah. Well, and the speed limits are 80 miles an hour. There's a lot going on there. Now, one of the benefits of a minivan is all of the convenient ways to open and close the doors. We have the little mirror there, conversation mirror. The way the kids can open and close the doors. So I'm sure the kids were pretty happy with the minivan.
They love the minivan.
And then, did you have the key fob on you? Does it have different ways to open doors as well?
Yeah. This key fob would be really nicely redesigned if possible.
It's pretty big, yeah. So there's different ways to open doors. It's always one of the benefits of minivans is how easy they're to use for families, for kids. And we have talked about buying them, but we just like our SUVs and trucks better. But
maybe after the Mazda. This is And maybe after I get through the 3 of these, this has been a really nice drive. This handles really well.
Yeah, so let's talk about driving.
Well, I'm whipping in and out of parking lots. Sorry. Whipping in and
Safely,
out
right?
Of, parking spots. And since we have our truck and I understand how these cameras work now, I have located the 360 view or the bird's eye view. So I can adjust it. So if I go into...
Yes. You can see everything. Now, I will say that this video quality on the screen is rather poor.
You know what? It's not the best. It definitely, I expected it to be a little bit more clear. I expected it to be, I don't know, a little better quality, but I haven't checked to see if my cameras are dirty either.
No, that's the video quality. I mean, that's like a 720p if I were to say that in terms.
Well,
it's not a huge issue. It's just
No.
There are some competitors. We will find out. I think we're going to look at with the Honda and we'll look at the Chrysler. We'll look at see how their video quality is. But that's probably so. I mean, some negative things from my standpoint. What I'm going to point it out immediately is I'd say the camera quality is pretty poor. I just always find that these icons and stuff they do are pretty not so interesting. I mean, this is visually the dash is really
That's
interesting, beautiful, and then they kind of like punted over here. They didn't really do much over here, which I mean, again, I mean, you're nitpicking here, but again, these are really good competitors. We're gonna do some nitpicking on these. So overall thoughts, easy for the kids. You had tons of room, tons of space. It drove well. Did you feel like enough power off the line?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay, you have 245 combined net horsepower. It's got 2 electric motors that work with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. And anything stood out to you in the back that was really convenient? You have 7.
So I've already folded down the seats. The seats are super easy to fold down in the 3rd row. There's also, I'm not sure if this comes standard with the Toyota Sienna or if you have to buy it aftermarket, but they included these huge rubber mats, and it covers the entire back end, so there's no carpet showing anywhere. But the cool thing I love about this middle row seat is the track for it doesn't just stop halfway through. The track to move those seats goes all the way back to where the 3rd row was. So if you have some taller people traveling with you and they're stuck in the 2nd row, you can put down those back seats, the 3rd row, and they could scoot all the way back to almost be in the 3rd row and still have a captain's chair.
Yeah, so like if you're taking it along Shaquille O'Neal
There you go.
and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Shaquille, if you're watching this van is for you.
You could do both.
So they go all the way up.
Okay.
And then all the way back.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Do both. All right, so let's wrap this up. We're gonna do three of these. We're gonna not have a 45-minute video, but quick final thoughts on the Toyota Sienna. Things you loved?
Things I loved. I loved all of the sensors. I loved the camera. I loved all of the cup holders, the storage, the little bag holder, which is just crazy. This hooks on. You can hang a purse. You can hang a trash bag from here. I loved all of those little things that many minivans come with.
Right. But you like the driving, you like the power.
Yes, I love the driving.
And safely navigating parking lots nice and slowly, you were a big fan of that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything that stood out to you that you didn't kind of care for?
Okay, so what I do not care for, and maybe Toyota can think about this. I'm going to take the camera for a second.
Okay.
So we have these...
Slowly with the camera. Slowly with the camera. Speedy.
Okay, so we have all of these beautiful buttons here, beautiful buttons there, buttons everywhere. And then you get over to here. And as you can see, that's where you can turn off some of the extra features. This is your camera view. That's the button to change that screen. Why is it all the way down here? In order for when I'm pulling into a parking spot, if I'm pulling through a drive-through, if I am pulling through a place where I know my curbs are going to be tight, I want to flip that on so I don't curb check. I don't run into a barrier or something. But I have to take my eyes off. I have to physically look down and find this silly little button to be able to get my view. So this button would have been much better up here or even over here. Because it's out of my line of sight completely. Oh, and these little ledges. There are so many little places to put stuff. And yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just the minivan thing that I'm not used to.
All right, so a couple things. I read the press release today, double-checked some things. This is the segment first power tilt and telescoping steering wheel.
Yes.
And then Toyota did something that I noticed you didn't even test out here. Let me blow your mind.
Oh, I know.
Oh, she knows.
I knew about that, and it just didn't even occur to me because I'm so used to using the rear view.
Right, so this is really good in this case because doing SUVs and stuff, when you have this pack full of kids behind you, you know, you may not be able to see everything behind you, balloons, that kind of stuff. You can flip this lever and regular camera, or you can have a nice digital camera. What's interesting is this digital quality on this camera,
Yeah.
I swear is better.
I was just going to say that. Wait a minute. Let me...
So go to reverse. Yeah. There you
There.
go. So there's that visual quality.
Here's reverse.
And there's that. So, I mean...
That is so different.
So, I mean, they're capable of doing it. I don't understand why one camera is...
Why did nobody tell me about that? I totally would have had that on the entire trip. Shoot, I need to do more research.
Okay, so we're going to move along in this because I think we've covered everything, and we're going to get to what's next? Honda Odyssey comes tomorrow, so that's going to be,
Odyssey,
Friday comes next.
Friday.
So that's next, and then we'll do a Christ specific at the end. So stay with us. Good stuff here. Really good stuff, right?
Right. I'm fun, people. Keep watching.